the doctor walked out of the operating room and was shocked to find that the family member waiting at the door was her own husband, and the patient she had just treated was clearly a 4-month pregnant woman. 2 hours earlier, her husband suddenly received a message and told her he had an urgent matter at the company, then hurriedly left the house. She didn't think much of it and was about to turn off the lights to sleep, but then she received an urgent call from the hospital. A pregnant woman had been admitted in critical condition, and she was needed for surgery, so the woman rushed to the hospital. The surgery lasted until late into the night. Thankfully, both mother and baby were safe, but when she went to inform the family, she was stunned to see her husband standing at the door. She didn't get angry right away, but calmly sat in her office, looking at the ring he had given her, because she was planning to divorce him. Later, the man came to explain that the pregnant woman was his childhood friend. She had just returned to the country and had a car accident. He had brought her to the hospital, and the woman, who had always respected her husband, chose to believe him this time. But the man soon betrayed her trust again. After dropping her off at home, he lied, saying there was something at the company, then went to buy pickled fish for the scheming woman in the hospital, just because she said she wanted to eat it. He went out in the middle of the night to get it. It turned out the scheming woman was his first love. He had been secretly in love with her since school, but she looked down on the poor, worthless man, and one rainy night, she abandoned him and went abroad. The man begged her to stay, tears in his eyes, but couldn't keep her. Now that his first love had returned to the country, he was unusually attentive to her, even bringing her home on her birthday. When the woman came home from work, she was shocked to see this scene. At that moment, her mother-in-law, who hadn't yet realized the severity of the situation, jokingly said they were really destined to be together, completely unaware of the storm that was about to hit. That night, the woman confronted her husband and said she wanted to move to the city center because she couldn't stand seeing the scheming woman in front of her. But the man thought she was just throwing a tantrum and told her not to make a scene. He angrily turned and left. Little did he know, she was giving him a chance. The next day, the woman went to her best friend's house and shared her frustrations. Her best friend, feeling sorry for her, advised her to divorce the jerk as soon as possible. But the woman, thinking about the child she was carrying, decided to observe the situation for a few more days. The following day, while she was at work, the jerk called her. As she hesitated to pick up, her best friend grabbed her phone and hung up the call, saying such a heartless jerk should be ignored for a few days. That evening, when the woman finished work, the jerk was waiting for her at the hospital entrance. He walked up to her and said he agreed to move to the city center. The woman thought he had had a change of heart, but the next scene snapped her back to reality. She looked at the scheming woman in front of her and turned to ask her husband what this meant. To her surprise, he said the city center was closer to the hospital, and he was planning to move the scheming woman there too, so she could be more convenient for her prenatal checkups. That was when the woman realized she had been happy for nothing. The real reason her husband agreed to move to the city center was for the scheming woman. This was when the woman suppressed her anger, and the man comforted her, telling her not to overthink, saying there was nothing inappropriate between him and the scheming woman. The woman didn't want to argue with him because this time, she had already made up her mind. She was going to divorce the jerk.